Hi guys, hope you're all well. I'm doing this video because there are so many people feeling really rattled and are really wobbling at the moment. And as I mentioned in a previous video, there is so much light pouring into our planet right now, and we're upgrading at a rapid rate, and this can cause a lot of discomfort. People are experiencing symptoms like headaches, tinnitus, ringing in the ear, aches and pains in the body, and insomnia. And these are the symptoms of ascension. So just know that it's all good, because we are ascending, we are upgrading, and it's a huge time for manifestation. So just be really aware of what you're focusing on at the moment. One of the things that we've just experienced is Mercury retrograde, and as I mentioned in my previous video, Mercury is the planet of communication, so it's normal to have communication breakdowns, to argue with people during this period, to just feel completely withdrawn, to not want to connect with anyone, not want to face anything or do anything or communicate with anybody, and it's completely normal to feel like that. And also to be really irritable and frustrated and even anxious during this period. It feels as if you're in quicksand, and the more that you struggle, the more you get stuck in it. The only way to deal with this pain and discomfort is to sit with it, to face it, and to allow yourself to experience it. Try not to drown your emotions and this discomfort in alcohol, or smoke them away, or stuff them down with food. This is emotional avoidance. So rather just sit with them and embrace them, because what you resist persists. If you try and fight them off, they're going to fight back harder. And if you wallow in your emotions, then you're just going to feel absolutely overwhelmed and stuck. So just allow your emotions and your feelings to pass through you. Just allow them to float by. So here comes the good news, guys. Mercury has just gone direct. Yay us. But it smacks us hard with the tail end as it goes direct, so we feel extra wobbly and things are extra intense at the moment, but we can look forward to some sense of relief. And for the next 2 weeks, we're actually going to be in the shadow period of the Mercury retrograde, which just means that it's time to reflect upon whatever came up during this retrograde, so that we can look at it and start to shift things and move forward in our lives. So it's still a time to be mindful, particularly when it comes to communication, because Mercury being the planet of communication. But this is an opportunity to break our old patterns, to create new ones going forward, healthier patterns in communication and in relationships in general. So in the next few weeks, as we go through this shadow period, it's giving us a great opportunity to break down those old habits and patterns when it comes to communication. And one way that you can do this is to work on improving your communication skills. So a great way of doing this is when we engage with another person in a conversation, is to really focus on what that person is trying to communicate, rather than thinking of how we want to respond or what we want to get across. I think that we all tend to do this at times, and I know that I certainly do. Thinking of my response in my head rather than listening to the other person and being 10 steps ahead in the conversation and not really engaging properly. Stop and really think about what the person is saying to you and process the information before you respond. And if they take a while to respond to you, just be patient with them and know that that's what they're doing, is that they're processing what you've said to them in their heads. So this will help you to validate what they're saying and stop being so defensive and be more empathetic. Because when you're stuck in a cycle of being defensive and you're communicating and both of you are being defensive, there's no resolution. You just keep going round and round in that cycle. So if you stop and think about it and truly listen to them, it gives you the power to break this pattern. So once again, the theme that has come up is relationships, and this theme is going to be huge this entire year. So it's all about discerning what relationships are nurturing and nourishing for you, and deepening those connections and working on them. Or if the relationships are really toxic, to release them from your life. So relationships are mirrors for us. and they reflect things back to us. And often it's stuff that we really don't like or want to look at. And often what we see in other people are qualities that we possess within ourselves. This is a great opportunity for us to learn and to grow and to shift things that don't work for us and that stop us from moving forward. And when I refer to these relationships, it's not necessarily a romantic relationship. It's relationships with everybody. It's relationships with our family, with our friends, and even with our work colleagues or our clients. And all of these can be enhanced if we have some insight into this. So while we're on the topic of relationships, when it does come to our relationships with our significant others, there are 3 phases that our relationships go through. And the first one is the honeymoon phase. Then comes the power struggle. And then finally comes what we call true love and is known as mature love. I'm going to do a video discussing this in detail just to help you navigate your way through relationships and to gain an understanding on why relationships can be so difficult and why we get stuck in the power struggle and how we can navigate our way through it and come out the other side and experience the joy of true mature love. So this video was a bit of a mess, guys, and that's because I'm feeling like a little bit of a mess, I have to admit. And I wasn't going to wait until I felt perfect to get this information across. I was up at 2 o'clock this morning. In fact, I was up most of the night. I think I had an hour's sleep because of this Mercury going direct and smacking us hard with the tail end. But I really just wanted to get the information out there so you guys know why we're rattling and wobbling, and hopefully can just help you have a bit of an understanding and help you to move forward. Just remember that you really are supported, guys. Sending you loads of love. Take care.